there are an increased number of people from Cameroon, from as far away as Iran and Afghanistan, and as far away as Mongolia, making the journey all the way through Central America. Hello Citizen Truth, Jenna Mulligan here with my series on the US-Mexico border. I'm going to speak loud today because I am right next to the highway, but I'm here at the San Ysidro port of entry in Tijuana, and I am at the El Chaparral West crossing here. You can see behind me the people beginning their crossing to the United States. This crossing itself is the busiest land port in the Western Hemisphere. There's 25,000 people who cross northbound here into the United States, and they do this daily. So here at El Chaparral, we really have three forms of migration that we're seeing, or 3 points of migration. One being those who travel every day across the border, working in the United States or going to school in the United States, but living down here in Mexico. And currently, this port of entry is under an enormous renovation. They're pumping $741 million into the San Ysidro crossings, whether it be this Ped West crossing, another pedestrian crossing, Ped East, or the lanes of car traffic and driving traffic. Okay, and the second population of migrants and form of migration that we're seeing here at the Ped West El Chaparral crossing is those seeking asylum. So I personally am seeing some huge demographic changes between Arizona, what the population that we were receiving in Arizona over the last few months, and this port here. There are an increased number of people from Cameroon, from as far away as Iran and Afghanistan, and as far away as Mongolia, making the journey all the way through Central America and north up here to Tijuana. Tijuana is a historic port of entry, and those people who approach this station here are at one of 2 points in their asylum seeking process. Either they have never crossed before, and so they are putting their name onto a list that has been running here in Tijuana, a system of metering that began in the Obama era in 2016, when those leaving from Haiti and traveling north to the United States were coming in large numbers. So they began to accept only a certain number of applications for asylum every day at this port. That system went back into play with Central American and Mexican families at this port, and especially this year. That book, it's a single book with everybody's names written on it, and it's run by volunteer migrants here in Tijuana. They wait for their number to be called, and they can approach and then apply for asylum and begin their process. Now, just this week, we saw that the director of ICE will be making some changes to the Border Patrol and Customs agent interviews with these asylum seekers. And the first credible fear interview will become more rigorous and more intense screenings. We have yet to see how that'll impact this population here. But those who do make it through that process are then, at this port, most likely assigned to a court date in future months and turned around and sent back to Tijuana. So this was the first port, the San Ysidro port was the first port that the Migrant Protection Protocol was enacted at. And this Migrant Protection Protocol is also known as Remain in Mexico, in which asylum seekers have to await the duration of their trial and their asylum proceedings here in Mexico. Upon the final decision, they will either be allowed into the States or not. But during those months, they have to stay here in the shelter system in Tijuana. So those are really the three populations: those who cross daily, those who are approaching to cross for the first time, and those who are going through the process of coming to this port, getting on a Border Patrol bus, being bussed up to their court date in San Diego, and then returning. You can see just behind me here, we do have families awaiting that process, and many of the families that I've spoken to this week have been here in Tijuana for roughly 6 weeks or more. So this is a space of lull, and and a space experiencing extreme numbers and many different forms of migration. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to check out the website for more.